Hey everyone. So, what's happened to AJ in these past 2 weeks has been asked a decent amount, both in my Discord and in my comment section. And I'm sure that if you go to one of my most recent videos, people are asking, like, oh man, I can hear the pain in your voice. Oh, are you okay? And it's been a rough couple of weeks, to say the least. But I want to kind of just talk about what actually happened. I'll do my best to keep it as light and jolly as possible. The last thing we need is anyone being all, like, depressing about this. I'm fine now. But realistically, we'll try and keep it short. I ran into a bit of a health complication, okay? Not a major one. It wasn't at the beginning a major one, and then it got a bit more major. But, more of the story is I'm fine now, so it doesn't really matter. But, yeah, I still kind of sound a bit off, as you can hear. I should find it soon. But, so, essentially, about 2 weeks ago, I had really bad toothache, and I know what you're thinking. Bruh. My man said he had health issues, and then instantly starts complaining about his tooth, but it is that silly. I had toothache, and it was really bad in it. I have a broken tooth, and I've been meaning to get it removed, but I was supposed to be referred to, like, a dental hospital, and like, I just never got referred, so I never got around to it, and it wasn't hurting, so it was like, whatever. But I got toothache, and that's because that tooth got infected, and I was like, oh, fuck, this is bad, this is pretty bad, can't lie. I felt a bit like a zombie. I was like, bruh, no, I'm gonna be on transit, no. But, okay, so, after being like, okay, I've got an infection, I was like, fuck, this is bad. But I kind of hoped it would go away, because I'm quite an awkward person, I don't really like the idea of going to my dentist and just being like, yo, can you fix me, because I'm just an awkward person in person, and I wanted to avoid going to dentists, because I'm not a big fan of dentists anyway. Maybe I have a bit of an irrational fear about them. I've had some pretty bad dentists in the past, and I just get very uncomfortable. In any place dentist-wise. So I tried to avoid going to the dentist, which is the stupidest thing. AJ, lesson of the day, go to the dentist, because, going to the dentist almost got me killed. Yeah. So, this infection, it proceeded to just get worse and worse, okay? My tooth got worse, my jaw started hurting, and I was like, fuck, this is really bad. I was doing saltwater rinses, I was drinking water, I was taking painkillers, taking lots of codeine and paracetamol and ibuprofen, taking, like, tons of it. And it just did not go away whatsoever. I actually had so much medication on me at one point, I had to quickly run up the stairs, and I literally sound like I was sponsored by a Tic Tac company, because I went up there and I full-on rattled, and it was really embarrassing. But, I essentially have been on lots of meds, and I was, just getting rid of the pain, because that was the real thing, but nothing serious happened health-wise. I just had an infection and my tooth was hurting. That's where we were at this point. I'd say a solid, 4 days had passed, and this infection had gradually got worse, but, it was just an infection, big whoop. And then I went to bed that day after going, man, this kind of hurts, and I woke up, and it was bad. It was really bad. So, my entire face, essentially, had swollen up all the right side of my face and my throat. So already that's bad, okay? Because now it went from no swelling to the entire right side of my face swelling in a day. I look like, genuinely, I look like Quagmire. That's not a joke. I genuinely look like, I had like the chin. I look like fucking, the guy from American Dad, the dad guy. Is he just called American? Stan. That's his name. But I had a humongous chin. I'm like Buzz Lightyear, full of infection, and this is bad. This is when I realized, right, I need to go. So, I called 111, which is the, local non-emergency, but still need, it's basically the non-emergency, but it is an emergency call number. It's basically a lesser version of 911 or 999, depending on where you live. To contact, the local emergency place to see what advice I need. I called them, and they said you should really just go to a dentist, which I was really hoping they wouldn't say, but saw it coming. So they were like, just go to a dentist, book an appointment to get seen in, and then I told them about my face swelling up, and they were like, yeah, you need to get there within 24 hours, which I can't lie, that's a little worrying. When the guy changes his thing, he's like, yeah, you need to just get in there the next couple of weeks, and it's like, oh, your face was swollen? Yeah, you're gonna have to get in there by Tuesday, be quick. I was like, bro, no. What do you mean? So I was just like, oh fuck, this is bad then. And he's like, yeah, this is pretty serious. You need to get in there for 24 hours. So I call my dentist. No response. The guy's on holiday. fuck's sake. So I call up, there's two dentists near me. I call up two dentists, nothing, no. Then one of them said they could get me in for next Monday, and at the day of recording this, it was like, I think it was also a Monday, so it'd have been a 7-day wait, which is I couldn't have handled. So I start calling dentists around my area that's within travelling distance. And on the 9th dentist, yes, I essentially had 8 dentists deny my request to see me whatsoever. And the best one dentist could do was Monday, next week. The 9th dentist goes, we can try, but you need to call up these 2 other dentists first. Because with like a branch of dentists, you can go to other places. So I'm like, okay, thank you, I'll call them. And I call them up, and they're like, no, we can't have you. No, we can't have you. So I call them back. I call the original one back. I was like, sorry, yeah, they said they have no slots open for me. Not sure what to do. And they were like, we'll do our best to squeeze you in tomorrow. You had a 24-hour referral, right? And I was like, yes. They're like, okay, we can get you in at 3:30 at a push. I'm like, okay. Now, I know what you're thinking, bro. That's like tomorrow. You're going to be in agony. And I was. By the way, I couldn't eat, drink, and barely breathe at this point because, like, the infection and like it's swallowed so bad. It's actually still there now. My chin is still got a big swelling on, but I can talk now, and I can eat and I can drink, and that's what's important. So I go to the dentist and I'm like, okay, thank you, and then he goes in there and he literally goes, can you sit down please and just tell me what happened with your previous dentist, because I was a new customer there. He's like, okay, that sounds pretty shitty. If you want, we can get you signed on here. And I said yes, because they got me in within the day, which is way better than any other dentist has. And he goes and he gets like this little mirror thing, like this. I'm not a dentist, so do not judge me. But he gets a mirror stick to put in my mouth. He literally puts it in for 2. He says, open wide. I open my mouth as much as I can. Which he was like, can you open it any wide? I was like, no. He's like, okay. He looks and he goes, yep. You need antibiotics immediately. I'm like, oh god. Okay. So he didn't even touch the tooth. The tooth is still there. He's like, we're going to put you on a course of amoxicillin. Now, amoxicillin is an antibiotic, which isn't actually that serious. It's quite a... I've got it down here. It's quite a weak like antibiotic to my knowledge. It's 500 milligram. And it was I think it was a 5-day course of it. And I'm currently on the 4th day, so I've got, 3 more tablets I still have to take, which I'm hoping will get rid of the rest of this. So I'm like going on them, and I'm like, okay, we get it. Day 1, nothing changes. Day 2, nothing changes. I still haven't eaten, I haven't drank, and I haven't, like, I can barely breathe at this point. And this is for nearly 4 days of me not being able to breathe, eat, or drink. The only time I was drinking water with a medication I was taking. Literally drinking less than a 500 milliliter bottle of water a day and eating nothing is not good for your health, surprisingly. But I'm taking antibiotics, and then the 4th day rocks around, which is today. And I feel a bit better. I felt a little bit better yesterday, to be honest, but it was still pretty bad. But today's the first day I felt significantly better, and I can actually talk. But yeah, it's not been easy. You can hear in my past couple videos, you can just hear how sick I was in them. By the way, the day recording this, it's going to go up tomorrow, but at the day recording this, it was the day I did my Saints Row on Google Stadia video. So it came, like, work backwards, basically. So my previous video before that was the one where my voice sounded really weird. But yeah, I've basically been on a ton of medication, and then what I found out from my dentist as well is that if I hadn't gone there, well, basically if this had got worse, which we're still not at the end of the story, by the way, don't worry. But he told me that if this gets any worse, like, it's life-threatening. It's no longer, you've got a toothache. You've got an infection of abscesses from your eye socket down to your throat. Like, this is life-threatening at this point, which is a bit scary, as you can imagine. So I essentially nearly died, so I can't wait to put that in the tags of my video. But, so I've been taking my medicine and whatnot, obviously. And what happened yesterday was probably the scariest part, believe it or not. Yeah, even scarier than being told you're going to die, because, I mean, when you have a face full of infection, what's the worst thing that could happen? Yeah, yesterday all my face infections burst in my mouth. I know. So it was really late at night. It may have been the day before, actually. I can't quite remember. I've kind of like been sleeping through days quite a lot, so it's all kind of merged together this past like couple of weeks. But either yesterday or the day before, all my face was really swole, and I just got this awful taste in my mouth, and I was like, oh my god, what is that? And I spat. And this is going to be gross for anyone who doesn't like spit or anything, so just be aware. Trigger warning. I spit into this little bucket I have because I knew that it was something bad. I spat into it, and it was just blood, pus, and this brown stuff, which I imagine was just the infection. And I kept spitting, and it just kept like pouring out, and it was so grim. And it did not stop. And then I put my finger in my mouth to be like, where the fuck is this coming from? And this is really gross, by the way. There is just like a bubble of my gum that's been popped. Oh god, it was gross as shit. It was so bad. I was sitting there like, bro, no, I'm gonna die. I'm not gonna be able to play the reboot. So after that, I was just a bit like, okay, this is bad. So I essentially stayed up till like 4 a.m. just spitting. Do not take that into context. And I was just there like, oh no, this is fucked. This is bad, right? This is quite bad. And I started looking online, which is the worst thing you can do in these situations, because like you can have a mild cough and you'll look online and it'll be like, oh, yeah, you're dead. You have a mild cough. That's it. That's the sign of death. It's crazy. So I looked online. It's like, yeah, you're dead. And I'm like, okay, that's great. Then I remember my dentist told me that like if it gets any worse, I could die and I should go to a hospital. Luckily, I didn't go there. Everyone on my Discord was telling me, like, because I was kind of filling them in through this, because I was like, not all of this stuff, but I was filling them in through it, and I was like, yo, this is quite bad. And they were like, go to a hospital, you fool, you buffoon, you're gonna die. And of course, my Discord people were supportive of ever. I'm pretty sure I had Mr. Bag and Cadnaz laughing at me in a call at one point, so, you know, lovely people. A little bit pissed I said that. But, yeah, it was pretty rough. So the next day after the infection, I told my parents, and I was like, guys, like, this happened last night, it was pretty fucked. And they were like, okay, well, if it gets any worse, I'll have to take you to A&E and go to hospital and get you on a drip for antibiotics. But this is where the story takes a turn for the better. So, luckily, the antibiotics managed to have fully kicked in by this point. My facial swelling went down. It must have been 2 days ago, because I remember I've had 2 days of improvement. So, yesterday, my facial swelling went down a little bit, which is how I was able to record the video I did yesterday. And today, it's gone down even more. So, I'm hoping by tomorrow, or the day you're watching this, my facial swelling has gone down. I'll put in the comments an update on my facial swelling. But, yeah, that's the story of why I've kind of been gone. I mean, it's been a rough week. It's not been fantastic, but, you know, we're healing now. We're back to make cool content. I'm no longer dying. So, you know, that's great news. Sorry if this video was a little bit bleak or a little bit gross. I tried to keep it as positive as possible, keeping the positive attitude, but there's not really many easy ways to just be like, yeah, I kind of could have died. It's not the easiest thing to talk about, and as a side note, it probably was the most painful and worst week of my entire life. It has been absolutely awful, so, yeah. Anyway, thank you for watching my little story. I hope you enjoyed it. Sorry it's a bit on the longer side, but it's pretty interesting, and yeah, catch you in the next one, guys. I love you all. Take care of yourselves, and your teeth, and I'll catch you in the next one, guys. Love you.